Suspended. Oh, see, that would have been a chance to save, but...
Well now.
Now then, the class trial has reached its climax, but... Okay, here's a question for you. What's this? To those of you who figured out who it is, how about you try the Guess the Killer challenge? I don't know who it is. Whoever fails to get the Guess My Killer will have their save data melt away like butter. But if you guess right, I'll reward you with $10 billion. 10 billion? Of course, for those of you who don't know who the killer is, you can just continue on.
Now then, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna pass because I have, Just kidding, you can't make a choice. There's no way you'd be able to guess who the killer is. Thank you.
And of course, there's no $10 billion either.
I kind of figured that, but...
You're so evil!
What is this game? What is this game? What is this game? And see, this would have been the place to end the episode, but...
I'm Monami, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now.
Why? What is happening now?
The group's leader, Byakuya, got killed, and his killer is among this group of students?
I like how it's playing a song from Monami's version of the intro. The dating sim intro.
No, I'm not gonna believe it. I'll never believe it.
Well, that sucks for you.
'Cause I believe in everyone.
Yeah, well, that's your choice. And when it turns out you were wrong, you'll have to live with that.
So do your best. And don't forget to save regularly.
Right.
Well, what now?
Well, how about we talk about the fact that the stabbings had to come from underneath the floor. How
If
about
the
that?
knife isn't the murder weapon, there's no definitive proof that I'm the killer.
In fact, I think there's proof that you're not.
Shut up! We'll be the judge of that.
You say you were shoved away, but you can't actually prove it, right?
No, but I can prove how Byakuya was killed. That kind of means that he couldn't have done it. But...
That's right. Even if a different weapon was used, it does not mean Nagito has been cleared of suspicion.
I mean, that's fair, but I have evidence that it couldn't have been him.
But there's another reason why I don't think Nagito is the killer.
Go on.
There's still more?
Based on what we've discussed, Byakuya was killed under the table, right?
Indeed.
Is there something wrong with that?
Well, even if that's true, I feel Nagito looks, clean.
Hey?
Nobody's ever complimented me on my appearance before. Not even my own mother.
Okay. Nagito. I don't know if you're Makoto or not, but whoever you are, you've clearly lost your mind. Stop talking while the rest of us figure out what the heck is going on here.
I'm not talking about your looks.
There's no blood on him?
I see! Are you trying to say something like, why didn't Nagito have any bloodstains on him?
Because he didn't have time to leave and wash it off. So...
Yes, that's it.
that makes sense.
Because under the table, there was a lot of blood splattered everywhere, right?
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
There were even bloodstains on the inside of the tablecloth.
Yeah.
he stabbed Byakuya to death. It's strange he did not get splattered with an appropriate amount of blood.
Exactly.
I didn't get any blood on me? That is weird.
You just used something to block the blood, didn't you?
Well, you did find a tablecloth.
Something that might have been used to block the blood splatter. What do you think it could have been? I guess we did see something I could have used. Isn't that right, Hajime?
Yeah. There's only one thing he could have used. It's the... where is it? Where is it? That one.
I can prove it with this! You're talking about the bloodstained tablecloth we found in the storage room, right?
If there are bloodstains on it, that settles it. Nagito used the tablecloth to block the blood splatter.
That makes sense, except just like washing his hands, he had no chance to get rid of it before we found the body. Well... Like, even if he kept it under the table after he killed Byakuya, he still couldn't have moved it, like, before we found the body because, first of all, like, there were other people in the room. Somebody would have noticed him going over to that table and picking up something.
But that was found in the storage room, right? Are you suggesting he hid it there after the murder?
Exactly.
You mean after the lights came back on? What would he have done if we'd seen him?
Exactly.
That's true. The tablecloth was pretty big, so even if you tried to hide it and take it with you...
Wearing a tablecloth, going under the table, getting a knife in a blackout, and stabbing someone. That's not just impossible for someone like me. Wouldn't it also be impossible for you guys too?
Yeah.
Then, what does it mean?
It means he didn't do it. And it means that somebody else used the tablecloth to block the blood splatter.
Maybe the killer didn't necessarily stab Byakuya under the table.
A?
No, there's no mistake that the murder occurred under that table.
Even the inside of the tablecloth was bloody. So there's no denying Byakuya was killed there. But that doesn't mean where Byakuya got stabbed and where the killer did the stabbing are the same, right?
Alright. From underneath the floor, is what you're saying. Not that the killer was underneath the table. Yeah, the killer wasn't underneath the table with Byakuya. That's what she's saying. Right, I understand now.
I don't understand at all!
It took me a minute too, don't worry about it. At least where Byakuya got stabbed and it looked like the stabbing art together.
Huh? Hajime, you look like you're onto something.
This has been the biggest piece of evidence that I've been bringing up throughout the entire time. Yes, I'm onto something.
Really? But it sounds like a riddle. I feel like I'm onto something, but it's still not clear what that is.
Under the table, but not under the table. If it's somehow possible, it's the only way that makes sense. Moving forward, we should put aside all unnecessary preconceptions and just choose the answer. I think.
Yes. Improved Hangman's Gambit, hey? Two different letters clash, you'll take damage. If two of the same letters clash, they'll fuse. Huh? Catch and release. What the heck is happening? Okay. Right mouse button. Catch it. position the letters into each other. So there's freeze a bit bigger. Blow it up and race it to the field. Fire. That's a whole lot of right mouse buttons. Waiting the keyword. Left mouse button. Right. I think so. Bianca got stabbed. The killer did stabbing on sale. Those words is a clue. I should put aside my preconceptions and try to think about it. I already know what something is coming to me. Just a bit more. I have a feeling I can see something. Under the floor. That's the wrong thing. Whoops. Uh-oh. This is interesting, but it's so difficult. I do like the mini games. They take some getting used to, but I do like them.
Got it! The killer must have stabbed Byakuya from under the floorboards.
Yes, I've been saying this since, the beginning of the trial.
Under the floorboards?
Indeed.
The floorboards in the old building are full of gaps, and there was no carpet laid out under the table.
Exactly.
If they stuck the weapon through one of the gaps, they could have stabbed Byakuya to death.
If so, that means the killer was able to get under the floorboards. Where? And how?
That is the question, isn't it?
I don't know that yet, but I have a feeling there's someone here who does know.
Gundam, is there something you'd like to share with the class? I don't know where everybody's position is yet, so... There he is.
You're the only one! Hey, Gundam, you dropped your earring in the dining hall, right?
referring to the Hellhound earring?
Yes.
About that earring.
I said, are you referring to the Hellhound earring?
Yes.
About that Hellhound earring. You dropped it beneath the floorboards, right?
Yep. Oh, it's opening. Yep.
Just a bit longer and I would have reduced everything, including that old building, to ashes.
But destroying property is against the rules, and you probably would have been killed for that.
However, it's just as the old legend said. The Hellhound earring has returned to its owner, to me!
And how did it do that?
Is it safe to say that that earring is the one hanging from your right ear? Huh? Could it be? Gundam wasn't wearing an earring during the investigation.
Because he dropped it.
And if he had it on by the time the class trial began, then that means Gundam was able to retrieve his earring from beneath the floorboards during the investigation.
So, as I said, Gundam, is there something you would like to share with the class?
So, Gundam knows how to get under the floorboards.
It's understandable. After all, you fools only view the world through eyes of glass.
Right.
But I am different. With the power of my 4 Dark Devas of Destruction, it is of no concern.
Look at how happy those hamsters are.
Truly, this is the evil 4th eye.
What?
Before the might of the evil 4th eye, all visual chaos is rendered asunder.
What should I do? I'm embarrassed just listening to him.
Oh! Man up and speak more clearly!
Fine, I shall tell you all. The answer was in the storage room.
Oh, ho. I'm very curious.
One of my 4 Dark Devas of Destruction, Mirage Golden Hawk, Jumpy, has seen beyond the chaos.
Right.
A secret passage of doom leading to the underground lurks beneath a large assortment of random boxes.
A secret passage of doom, he says.
After securing a lighter from the supermarket, I threw caution to the wind and ventured below the floorboards. And as a result of that lonesome battle, I was able to recover the Hellhound earring with my own 2 hands!
Now, interesting little fact. I've heard that the guy that voices Gundam, this is his first professional voice acting role. So, I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, like, good job. He's putting everything into it.
Tremble with fear, fools! Behold my power!
There he goes blabbing about power and crap. You're ridiculous. You're just a breeder, you know.
You say that like that's not significant, but this man successfully, what do they say? Proliferated an endangered species. You know, this man breeds seemingly intelligent hamsters. Like this man is not just a breeder. He's the ultimate breeder, thank you.
Anyway, it sounds like you can go under the floorboards from the storage room.
I keep going off on tangents whenever she speaks, but I just like refuting everything she says. Makes me feel better.
Then that has to be how the killer did it.
No.
If the space beneath the floor is empty, it's not that far to move from the storage room to the dining hall.
True. Which actually means the people closer to the door such as Mahiru, for example, are the most suspicious now. Although there's still Peko, Teru, Chiaki, and Fuyuhiko that were unaccounted for most of that time. Although Fuyuhiko couldn't have done it because he would have had to get in, and he couldn't because Chiaki was outside, and Chiaki couldn't have done it because she was with Monami the whole time. So Peko and Teru still could have done it. But also, actually, it could be pretty much anybody in the building. I mean, Nagito couldn't have done it. And I'm fairly certain Hajime didn't do it because we would know. Now let's see. So Ibuki had to be in there the whole time because she heard everybody talking. Mahiru had to be in there because we heard her talking. Kazuichi had to be in there because we heard him talking. Everybody else could have... Pretty much everybody else could have left. Now, some of the other people would have had to get around other people. And we have no way, like, they would have had no way to see. Which actually means that I think it's more likely that it's Teru or Peko than anybody else.
I see. If they passed through the storage room, I understand why the tablecloth was put there.
The killer lurked under the floorboards during the party, and from there, stab, stab, stab!
Are you sure?
Fairly, yeah.
You don't like stab, stab, stab? Should it sound more fleshy, like...
Okay.
I'm not talking about your sound effects. You were saying they snuck under the floorboards, but that means they would have had to leave the party, right?
Yes, which during the blackout they could have done that, theoretically, although it would have been hard. But Peko still could have done it. But actually, the most suspicious person right now is you, Teru. So, why don't you,
So, was there anyone who was able to do that?
Well, you weren't in there, so you
Then whoever wasn't at the party is the killer. They must be the one who was waiting under the floorboards.
Yeah, and Fuyuhiko couldn't have gone into the building. Chiaki was with Monami, and Monami would know if she left. Although she probably wouldn't tell us because she doesn't want to help us doubt each other. And then Peko... It does seem Peko was in the bathroom the whole time. So it had to be Teru.
Who wasn't at the party again?
I didn't participate, but I was guarding the entrance, remember? Monami over there can be my witness, right? Yes! This Monami over here is your witness!
Was that passive aggressiveness?
I believe there's no need to discuss this matter further, but I was unable to leave the bathroom.
And we are fairly certain that you were in there because the door was locked, so...
I was in the kitchen for a long time, but I frequently went to the dining hall to deliver my dishes.
But not at the time that you were... that the killing took place.
The only person who wasn't at the party...
But Fuyuhiko couldn't have gotten in.
Judging from the photo I took before the blackout... it obviously has to be him.
Except he couldn't have gotten into the building. It's not him either, guys.
Yay! It's decided!
No, it isn't. What is it with the characters in Danganronpa wanting to jump to the voting?
What the fuck are you saying? I'm not the killer!
I believe you.
Oh, really? What happened to the tough guy who was saying stuff like,
I can do it.
I mean, you're not wrong, but he didn't in this case.
Don't mess with me! I'll fucking kill you!
See, there he is.
see? You're making threats again.
See, I wouldn't put it past him to kill somebody, necessarily. But on the other hand, he didn't kill Miyako, so...
Yep, that's right. Things are starting to get exciting.
Only starting, huh? Now we can get rid of the white noise. Fun. Okay, it's right mouse button. Shoot down the white noise, yeah. And that gives us extra time. Yeah, but you have to aim carefully. If you like doing a little bang bang, you can use 2 hearts to get. Okay, here we go.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach.
And they could have stared at panties all day. Without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know.
That's incorrect.
That means you have no alibi.
That's incorrect.
The culprit is self-evident.
That's incorrect. Well, I think it's Toraziron. I hate that I think it's Toraziron, but the murder weapon was clearly one of the iron skewers. And he was the only one in the building that wasn't at the party that doesn't have a confirmable alibi. So,
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach.
And they could have stared at panties all day. Without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know. That means you have no alibi.
No, that's wrong.
gotcha.
No, Fuyuhiko definitely has an alibi. Isn't that right, Chiaki?
Oh, you're right.
Now, I'll do this.
I saw Fuyuhiko after the party started. There's no way he could have been waiting under the floor before then.
You should have said that earlier, dumbass.
Wait, so are we saying the killer was under the floor before the party even started? Because in that case... In that case, it's more likely to be Pekka, but she was in the bathroom. The bathroom was locked. It has to be Terra, right?
It's still your fault. Like, why were you even lurking around the old building in the first place?
Because he wanted to be at the party, but he's too tough to admit it.
Shut up!
Maybe there really is a secret passage to go under the floorboards from outside, and he came to spy.
What'd you say, motherfucker?
Oh no!
Wow, he got chewed out, but he looks super happy.
Regardless, it's impossible to go under the floorboards from outside. Chiaki and I already confirmed that.
Yeah.
Then someone definitely went under the floorboards through the storage room during the party.
Yep.
During the party... It was probably during the blackout.
Yeah. So who was it who doesn't have an alibi? It wasn't Fuyuhiko. It wasn't Peko. It wasn't Chiaki. It wasn't anybody at the party.
Well, if someone disappeared during the blackout, no one would have noticed.
Well, except Ibuki. Who didn't speak during that whole exchange? Gundam. Nekomaru? And Mikon didn't actually say anything either, so...
But walking down that dark hallway to the storage room is like trying to make Eggs Benedict without any eggs.
You're not wrong about that.
You're right. I couldn't even see the office in that darkness, and that room was much closer.
But is it really impossible? It might be better if we examine that possibility a little bit more.
It was super dark, you know? There's no way you'd be able to find your way to the storage room.
I can't stop thinking about it. I feel like there's something I overlooked. For clarity's sake, once
It
again.
appears we're getting close to the final stage.
Good.
The blackened or the spotless? Which is superior? I think it's time to settle this.
Man, you're starting to sound like Monokuma. Like you were sounding like Monomi at first, and now you're sounding like Monokuma.
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room like that is like making a seafood bowl without fish.
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the cord?
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
What a pain. I'm gonna go with my gut. What if they used a light?
It definitely sounds impossible.
Okay, where's the log? Is that two? Transference. I can't see it. What that one person suggested. That one person suggested.
The hallway was really dark during the blackout.
Fire.
Moving to the storage room like that is like making a seafood bowl without fish.
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the cord?
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
What a pain. I'm gonna go with my gut. What if they used a light?
It definitely sounds impossible.
No. One person suggested.
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room like that
I'm just gonna have to guess.
is like making a seafood bowl without fish.
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the cord?
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
What a pain. I'm gonna go with my gut. What if they used a light?
No, I missed.
It definitely sounds
missed again.
impossible.
Hold on. Kitchen equipment list. Portable stove? I mean... It's not impossible, right? That can't be it. Let's see, what else? Party dishes. No. It's gotta be the portable stove that it's talking about.
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room like that. It's like making a seafood bowl without fish.
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles? What a pain. I'm gonna go with my gut.
What if they used a light? I agree with that.
Did that work? Yes, it did. Okay, good.
I know. The killer had a light with him.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, I was right?
Surprisingly, yes.
But where could they have found a light?
There was one nearby for sure. See? It's written on the kitchen's equipment list.
And then Toraziron was going to be like, but this gas-powered stove needs electricity. Now, people did say, well, it needs an electrical spark to light the gas. But, at least in my experience, I don't do a whole lot of cooking. I guess that's the way it is for, like, home stoves and stuff, but the portable stoves that I've used, being propane-powered, you just use a match to light them. I use them on camping and stuff. And yeah, you turn on the gas slightly, light a match, get it going, and then turn the gas up to the heat that you want. So it's definitely not impossible. Although, thinking about it like that, though, the portable stoves that I've used would be hard to carry when lit, but it's not impossible. Forks, 20 knives, 20 spoons, 5 iron skewers, 3 frying pans, 20 wine glasses, iron plates for barbecue, and even a portable stove for cooking hot pots.
It's the portable stove.
Portable stove?
The portable stove isn't powered by electricity, and it's also small enough to carry around. So, the killer used the portable stove to move from the hallway to the storage room during the blackout.
I see. I never considered the portable stove. But there's a hole in your argument.
That it needs electricity, right?
A hole? What kind of hole? It would be great if you could explain it to me in much more detail.
Oh my.
Oh, I wasn't making a perverted joke or anything. It's really not a perverted joke. I'm serious.
Sure.
Repeating yourself just makes it even more suspicious.
Now then, Hajime, will you battle against me?
I accept your challenge to an honorable duel, good sir.
No, that's wrong.
I like how he says, no, that's wrong. Like,
Will you be able to break through my argument?
let's find out. I think I understand the way this works. I still don't know how to do a diagonal cut. What does he mean, battle? It sounds like he's enjoying a game or something. There's no way I'm gonna lose to someone like him. I have no idea.
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
Aha! I think I've discovered the diagonal flashes. Kazuichi's testimony? I think Kazuichi is wrong.
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
still don't understand. Kazuichi's testimony that it was too dark to see? Oh, you didn't see anyone? During the... Oh. What is he saying?
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
Where am I supposed to use it at?
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
I can't back down!
I just had to rebut it until I got to that.
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
Okay.
I don't doubt what Kazuichi said. What are you trying to say?
The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it?
Allow me to cut through those words!
I gotcha!
Nagito, did you forget? Or are you just pretending you forgot?
Okay. So, I personally have never played like Ace Attorney or anything. But this feels like something out of Ace Attorney. Like the going back and forth with the objections and the no, you're wrong, and the like this part specifically, Hajime versus Nagito, feels like something out of Ace Attorney.
Huh? What are you talking about?
There should have been a wall that blocked light. I'm talking about the fire door in the hallway. If you close it, it would form a perfect wall in the hallway. Plus, the hallway rounds a corner just beyond the fire door. So even if there was a small gap in the door, as long as they passed the corner, the light still wouldn't peek out.
I see. To actually notice the fire door. Just as expected of the ultimate...
Detective. No.
Oh. You still don't remember your talent, do you?
Rude.
Who cares about that right now?
Nagito, what are you plotting? For someone who insists he's not the killer, you are quite nosy.
Yeah.
You sound so scary. If you're that angry, why don't you take a deep breath?
Just stop talking, man. Like, you're being weird.
You sure like to piss us off. How about I shut your fucking mouth for you?
Hey, it's okay if you guys fight, but I won't allow a burly brawl that might offend people. More importantly, can you hurry up and decide who's the blackened already? Time runs out when I get bored.
So, as long as we keep it entertaining, we have as much time as we need, but the minute Monokuma starts to get bored, he's like, time's up, figure it out.
Fine, I get it. You're telling me to pass the torch, right?
Pass the torch?
We're going to ask the real killer, not an imposter like me, to show themselves.
You're obviously the killer, right?
No.
If you think I am, I really don't mind. Whatever conclusion you ultimates arrive at, I will accept it, no matter what it is.
So, telling me to call out the real killer. No, I really don't want to condemn that person, but there's no other way, right? The person who used the hallway's fire door as cover and used the portable stove to move in the dark. Snuck under the floorboards to stab Byakuya to death using the glowing paint as a mark. So the only killer I can think of is... you and only you. Teru.
You're the only one!
It's a shame.
Teru. Could it be you?
Kinda disappointed. But he's the only one that I can think of, so...
Huh? What? What are you talking about?
Teru's the killer? Is that true?
Unfortunately, I hoped he'd be sticking around a bit longer, provide us some comic relief, but...
What are you talking about? There's no way! Of course, that's simply my assumption. So if you have an objection, please speak freely. Objection or not, why am I being treated like the killer?
Because we suspect that you are.
Because the portable stove used in the murder came from the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's it? That's the only reason you're treating me like a killer? Isn't that a little drastic?
Well, also the murder weapon came from the kitchen.
You're cruel! Cruel! Too cruel!
Teru. That attitude is so not like you. For the ultimate cook to get so upset.
What is wrong with you?
Call me chef.
If you fall to aspersions like this, who will be there to support the future of the culinary arts?
The future of the culinary arts?
That's right. For the future of the culinary arts, you must face this and fight it fair and square.
You're right. Yeah, that's totally right.
So, what's an aspersion anyway? Is it yummy?
Did you know asbestos is yummy too? You should try some later.
Nagito, why are you interfering?
Let's assume that the killer used a light, and that they used the fire door to mask that light,
Yeah.
and that they moved to the storage room and snuck under the floorboards. Then what?
Then what?
It's dark under the floorboards too. So how would they be able to stab Byakuya? You're not gonna say they shined the light on Byakuya, right? The plan would have been ruined if he noticed.
That's right. What do you think about that?
There's no way you can answer, right? You personally haven't investigated what's beneath the floorboards.
If that's the case, then Gundam should know. He actually went under the floorboards.
No. Unfortunately, there was nothing related to the incident under the floorboards. The only thing I found was a strange liquid shining in the darkness, near where Byakuya's blood was dripping.
The glow-in-the-dark paint?
What? A shining liquid in the dark? That sounds super important! If there was a shining mark like that, they would have been able to move to it in the dark, right?
Yeah.
And in doing so, it might have been possible for them to use that mark to target the victim.
Yeah. It's that mark. It was the glowing paint! Where is it? Is it just a knife?
I can prove it with this! The mark you're talking about is the glowing paint that was applied to the knife, right?
Yeah.
Ah! By using the glowing paint as a target, they were able to judge where to stab even in the dark.
Yeah.
I see. The killer didn't target an actual person. They just struck the moment the glowing paint moved.
Apparently.
That would be the moment someone grabbed a hold of the knife.
Which would have been Byakuya.
So, the killer used the mark that I prepared for finding the knife as a mark for stabbing.
Yep.
I see. That's why Byakuya got killed when he took the knife.
Yup.
But if they were able to do that, wouldn't that mean the killer knew about Nagito's plan all along?
Not necessarily.
Well, Teru Teru!
Seriously, I don't know anything. Really, I don't know anything at all.
I'd like to believe you.
Then can I ask everyone a question instead?
You again? Just stop already!
Please.
Now. We should give everyone a fair opportunity to speak.
If Teru is the killer, that would mean he went to the storage room during the blackout.
Yeah.
And just what did Ibuki hear during the blackout?
Teru speaking, right?
Ah! Don't step on my feet!
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
Turn the damn lights on! I can't eat like this, you know!
You guys? Where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen?
That's true. He couldn't have gotten up into the room that quickly, but...
She heard Teru's voice in the dining hall?
Doesn't that prove Teru was in the dining hall during the blackout?
At least part of it. But how did he find his way to the dining hall?
That's right! That's exactly it!
But Teru was in the kitchen the moment the blackout occurred, right? So, why was he in the dining hall?
I thought the blackout was only in the kitchen, so I panicked and ran out of there.
And how'd you make it?
Of course, the hallway was dark too, but somehow I managed to move along the wall toward everyone's voices.
Well, it's not that far to move along the wall from the kitchen to the dining hall.
That's fair, I guess.
That sounds fishy.
If I remember correctly, you can tell when a person is lying by licking their sweat.
Oh, really?
So, if you want, you should try licking me.
No way! You look greasy.
Doesn't that make him delicious, though?
But I heard Teru's voice in the dining hall! Ibuki swears on her honor!
And also talks about herself in the third person, apparently. I don't know.
That's right. Teru was in the dining hall, not the storage room. Which means he's not the killer.
If that's true, then it must be Peko.
No, that's not it. Why? Why do you want to keep falsely accusing me? It's not like I want to blame you.
You should be so proud of yourself, Hajime. You're just progressing toward the hope you believe in.
This is really uncomfortable.
Now, Hajime, show me more of your hope. Will that be enough to crush Teru's hope?
Just stop talking. Just don't say anything else. Just let this happen, man. I think I know where this is going.
Let me ask you again. Did you go to the storage room during the blackout?
There's no way I went to the storage room. I was somewhere totally different.
I definitely heard Teru's voice. It's handsome, unlike his face. Maybe it was recording or something? Nope, definitely a live voice.
Right, as long as I have her testimony. The fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be disputed.
That's incorrect, but
Let me ask you again. Did you go to the store?
There's no way I was somewhere total. I definitely heard. It's handsome. Maybe it was recorded. Nope, definitely.
Right, as long as I have her testimony. The fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be disputed. I'll shoot through that contradiction.